much to tonight this season already. You guys have been in some of them. This is the first real big-time game on a campus. Tonight's atmosphere, you think, justify your opinion?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're not going to budge on that. I mean, I love the neutral games. Those were phenomenal for us last week. And probably those games helped us because we went against great length. I mean, if we hadn't played the Georgetown guards and the 6'8" guys that they had with Jordan, Remy, and Yogi, then we're probably not prepared to play Reggie Bullock. We're probably not prepared to play Leslie McDonald. Strickland's, I mean, is a lot bigger than you realize until you get out there. So, absolutely, there's a place for the neutral games. There's a place for the exact tournaments like that, but we're never going to get away. I mean, we've got to get a big-time game scheduled at home next year because obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, but more than likely, we'll be on the road in this Big Ten ACC Challenge. So, we've got to find another game. Now, as long as you have one, and we'd like to continue to recruit or get a good in-state school, you know, to be another game like we did with Butler last year, like we did with Ball State this year, having that, I think that's really good for us. But we're never going to get away from wanting to play at home.
Will you offer that slot to a SEC school?
Which one are you talking about?
The University of Kentucky?
Oh, I think that ship has sailed. I mean, everybody understands where we're at on that. We would do what we with the last offer. I mean, we would play at the neutral sites because that's important to them, but yet we would want to play at home because it's important to us. So, I mean, I think that ship has sailed. I don't spend any time on that. That comes around again, and it works out that way, fine. If not, we'll find somebody else.
Coach, is it important or even necessary to keep a team grounded after a night like tonight?
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, of course it is. It's important to stay on task. I don't think they're driven by the attention. Just like I don't think they were driven by the lack of expectations a year ago. I think they're driven by getting better. I think they're driven by the kind of people that they are, and I think they have high goals. So absolutely, you know, and we see things that we address them. But I mean, they're young men that are trying to get better. They've never been in this position before. I mean, I've never been a part of a team that was #1 in the country to start a season and being like, we're all learning together. But I mean, there's not anybody running around the office or the locker room that feels entitled or like this was bestowed upon them. I mean, I think everybody understands how hard we're working, and I don't think we're going to get away from that.
How important is it for the seniors? They seem like they still have the chip on their shoulder from the struggles they had early on. How important is that to the team?
I think the chip has got to be there with everybody. Yeah, I think Yogi Ferrell's got a chip on his shoulder. I think Jeremy Humble went and did some really good things, especially the second time around tonight. And we played him through, you know, like said to him at the end of the game, after, you know, get in there and get a feel for the game, okay? You're open, you just got off the bench, it's different when you're a starter, get a feel, let it touch your hand a couple times, and then let it go. You know, get into the flow. Well, everybody wants to play well. I think they all have a chip. And I think they also know that if they don't have it, there's somebody that will, and certainly we'll play them. You know, we're not caught up in in anything that we have to do in a game other than play as best we can and win.
Coach, when it is clicking like tonight, what is it like to have Holmes and Yogi on the floor at the same time? What does that provide?
Well, we've been doing that a lot. So I think it provides us an awful lot. It gives two guys that can handle the ball at any given time. They can handle it in the break. Yogi's getting better and better at playing off the ball. We put a couple things into our game plan package today that had him off, that had him catching it maybe like the third time. You know, so I think we've got to do that. We've got to get Yogi off the ball so he can get it on reversal, maybe the second or third reversal, and then be in the ball screen. So we're constantly evolving with that, and that's the fun part of it. But they're both very cerebral, very heady, very tough, very unselfish, and very good.
Last question.
Talking about Cody getting out transition ahead of the break, does getting buckets like that early maybe bring him into his offensive rhythm a little bit more quickly in a game?
Cody's got a patience about him that's just fine. You know, he's gonna feel the game out. I don't think, and I've only, Dwayne Wade was like this in the sense that you just don't force it on him. You know, you let the great players kind of feel their way through it a little bit. And now, with that being said, we want him on the attack and we want him to be aggressive, and he absolutely was. And we want him to touch it early, like first, okay? But the bottom line is that he's so smart, and he knows how to find people. He truly lets the game come to him. Okay, thanks.